Hey folks, welcome to Junction City today. I'm your host Craig Bielig, just like the letters say right there, and we're talking organ donation today. Thank you for joining us. My guests are Alex McDonald.
Hello,
right
how
here.
you doing?
Good. Introduce yourself. I don't get to do all the talking.
Sure.
You have to
Alex
do something.
McDonald, and I work with Intermountain Donor Services, and
Right.
we recover organs for transplantation.
Right. And your guest?
Megan Shimizu. Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And I'm pretending like I don't know Megan. Megan is actually
okay.
my niece.
Yeah.
But it's great to have you here today, Megan.
Thank
and
you.
we're going to talk about why Megan is here also today. But I just want to launch right into this show because we've got a lot to cover. And
Okay,
I
right.
want to talk about organ donation. I think almost everyone understands or at least has a concept of what organ donation is. But Alex, explain organ donation as simply as you can.
Sure. There's two types of organ donation. Living donation, people can donate a kidney or a portion of their liver, and many times that's to family members or close friends or people they work with. And then there's also deceased donation. So when somebody passes away, that's, we can go talk to the family, and then if everything is go, recover organs and save up to 9 lives.
Right.
So,
But this is, I think a lot of people out there probably think this is a very small thing, that there's, 6 or 7 people out there waiting for a donation in Utah? That's not right, right?
no, there's actually about 800. And
Right now? Right now?
Yeah, in Utah, and about 114,000 nationally.
Wow.
And unfortunately, Megan just got added to the list, so she is number 801.
801.
So,
Yeah. Makes you feel good, doesn't it, Megan?
Yes.
801. Megan, how did you end up on the list?
I have an autoimmune disease called IgA nephropathy caused kidney failure.
Right. You're a young person. I
Yeah.
mean, really. I mean, you,
Yeah.
I was going to say you're half Alex and I's age, but you're probably actually more of a third, to be honest. But
Oh, yours anyway.
yeah, exactly. How did you find out about this? I mean, were there warning signs? They sent you an email or something?
No, there was no warning signs. One night I just woke up and I had heart palpitations and my heart was beating really fast, and I felt like I couldn't catch my breath. So I went to the Instacare and they drew some labs because my blood pressure was really high, and they were just wondering why. When the labs came back, it showed that my creatinine level was really high, which is an indicator for kidney function. So they sent me to the ER, did a bunch of tests, and found out that I was already in stage 5 kidney failure.
Wow. Well, I'll bet that was a surprise.
Yes, it
to
was.
say the least.
Yeah.
To say the least. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No. And so, what are they doing to try and help you?
For a while, I did a chemotherapy type treatment to try to put the disease into remission, but it was unsuccessful. So now I'm on the list for kidney transplant.
And you're doing dialysis.
Yes, I do dialysis.
Yeah.
Every
But you
month.
do kind of a different dialysis. You do the home dialysis.
Yeah, it's called peritoneal dialysis.
Right. Explain that if you can.
So I have a tube that goes into my abdomen, and I use a machine, and it fills up my abdomen with a solution called dialysate, which the dialysate uses my peritoneal lining as a filter, and it draws out all the toxins and extra fluid from my bloodstream.
And you do this every day,
Every night, yes.
every night, and it takes how long?
About 9 hours.
9 hours.
Yeah.
And you would rather not do this.
Correct.
And that's where Alex comes in. And that's where Alex comes in.
Well, and it's one of those things, thank goodness, of course,
Yeah.
for dialysis. And then there's hemodialysis, too, which is where people have to go to dialysis center 3 days a week for 4 hours a day, and they're hooked to a machine. So it's shorter than what Megan goes through, but you have to put your whole routine around getting to those centers. And I think Megan can address this, too, but with hemodialysis and to a certain extent peritoneal dialysis, Craig, you and I, if we want to just go to Disney World, we just go.
Yeah. Let's go.
Well,
Right after this show, Alex, if that's okay.
But, for people that are on hemodialysis, they have to call ahead, make sure there's going to be a bed available, things like that, so you can be dialysized. And you just recently went on a trip, and what did you have to do to prepare for that?
I had to have all my supplies sent ahead of time to the destination and
Yeah.
do exchanges while I was there.
Yeah. And that tube, is it uncomfortable, or is it, you can't bath, right? Because you can't get water
bath
down.
or swim. It's not too uncomfortable, but
sounds uncomfortable to me. But
Well, and it keeps, there are a number of things you can't do, but
yeah. So if you could get a kidney transplant, all of that would go away, right?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And I think you mentioned at the beginning of the show, Alex, kidneys is one of those organs that you can donate while you're still alive.
Yeah. I mean, vast majority of us are born with two. We can get by with one just fine. And the doctors do an amazing job of testing people. I mean, it's not just hey, I'd like to donate a kidney. You have to go through a whole bunch of tests to make sure you're healthy enough. Of course, that you have to be a match as well. So, I mean, you get probably the most complete physical you'll ever get in your life.
I remember Megan's been telling me about this. She's like, I've seen 99 doctors or whatever.
Yeah, there's no nook or cranny that goes unexplored. And so, but they want to make sure people are going to be fine, when they donate. So they don't take this lightly. And one of the other things I'd really like to add that I don't think people understand in Utah is a lot of large employers, and the state being one of them, they actually have paid time off to be a living donor.
Wow.
So if you're a state employee, you can get 30 days paid leave. It doesn't come out of your vacation, doesn't come out of your sick time. It's just something they do to encourage people to help their neighbors, friends, and coworkers.
A very generous
really
offer.
Is, yeah.
And people who donate while they're living, how do they usually fare? I mean, is it pretty hard or pretty easy or?
Well, with everything, everybody's a little different.
Right.
But the vast majority of people at the end of 3 weeks or a month, they're back to work. They're doing whatever they want. There'll be some restrictions on you can't lift, more than 20 pounds or something.
I can't lift more than 20 pounds.
Well,
anyway.
I know.
I'm not that strong.
But no, usually people fare very well. And there was a study done a while ago that was a 20-year retrospective study, and people that were living kidney donors were actually healthier than the general public.
Wow.
Now, it's not necessarily because they donated a kidney, but it's because they were so healthy when they donated, they just kept up, their dietary eating, exercise routines. Yeah.
Kept going. Yeah. So if you wanted to be a living donor, how does that work? What's the process? I mean, it's not the situation where it's on your driver's license. You got to do something else, right?
Right. And so, Megan, did your social worker talk to you about that, or?
Yes, you just go online and fill out a survey about general health questionnaire, and then the hospital gets in touch with you and goes through further testing.
Okay, and you can at least find a link to that on your website,
yeah,
right?
You can go to our website to look those things up is Yes Utah, all one word, so it's yesutah.org. And then we have links to the university, Intermountain Healthcare, or Intermountain Medical Center, I should say, and Primary Children's. And so then you can go to those links, and the directions will be there, like Megan was saying.
So easy to do, and help somebody, Megan or someone like Megan. Like you say, there's 800 other people, not necessarily waiting for kidneys, but for other organs. But I would imagine a good portion of them are waiting for kidneys.
About 80% nationally and locally.
Really?
Yeah, that's the highest number.
Really? So it's pretty easy to do. YesUtah.org.
Yep, that's it.
Right? That's the website. Help somebody out like Megan. In fact, maybe even help Megan, just like that. I mean,
she's
Megan,
deserving. Come on.
Yes, very, very deserving. What would it mean for you at this point to get the transplant? I mean, besides being able to swim and stuff like that, but what else?
I would not be dependent on dialysis anymore, and could do things that.
Things you want to do.
Yeah.
Things you want to do. And you wouldn't have to do things you don't want to do, like being interviewed on television, for example, which is something you probably didn't want to do. But it's important to have you here because we have to get the message out that the people on the list are real people. Some of them are not the people you are expecting. They're young. They want to have full life ahead, right, Alex?
Well, and I think, too, most of us, a lot of times when I'm out talking to people, of course, it's always about donation, how to sign up to be a donor, things you should consider. And most people sitting in the room think, well, I'm never going to be a donor. On the other hand, most people sitting in the room never think they're going to be a recipient either. And in Megan's case, she was just fine. And now all of a sudden this happened. And I'm not trying to scare people, but any one of us sitting in this room today are a potential donor. We're also a potential recipient. So we have to kind of think of both sides of that coin.
You know what? That's a great point and a great way to kind of wrap it up. Craig Bielik, Junction City Today. My guest, Alec McDonald.
Thanks so much
and
for
Megan
having me.
Shimizu, who I'm pretending like I don't know, even though she's my niece. And by all
job.
means, if you've watched the show and you want more information about organ donations, yesutah.org, right there, right on the screen. So easy to go to that and learn more. Help somebody. Help Megan. Help some of the other 799 people on Utah alone list. That's not even nationwide.
No, it's our friends, neighbors, coworkers, and they need help. Do we have another minute?
Yes, of course we have. Hey, it's my show. Come on,
Okay.
I can do whatever I want.
Quick
We
second.
can have another hour if you want.
Well, the point I'd like to make is it's not just a one-off thing. There isn't a donor and a recipient. But the donor has friends, family, brothers, sisters, parents. It ripples out. There's hundreds of people that know that person, and love them and work with them and everything. And the same with the recipient. Megan has a great family.
She has an uncle?
coworkers. Yeah, a great uncle. I should point that out. But it's that ripple effect. There's more than just the donor and recipients that are affected. It affects hundreds, maybe thousands of people, depending upon their circle of influence, their friends, and all. So it's a huge thing, really.
Good way to. And well, you know what? I want to ask one more other question because I was going to end with some comment like, "Wow, Alex, you just talked me into it." But I think a lot of people out there go, "I'm too old. I'm just too old. I can't do this." You can accept organs from people up to the age of
80.
80.
And there's
Okay?
no.
I have one more year.
Yeah. And really, there's no medical conditions that rule out donation either. We'll recover organs from people with hepatitis, people that have heart conditions, people that have diabetes. All of those things are not rule out. So if people are inclined to want to help other people, but they're wondering, just go ahead and say yes and let the doctors make that decision at the appropriate time.
There you go. Man, this guy knows his stuff, doesn't he? He
I've
really
been there
does.
a full week. So.
More information at yesutah.org. You've been watching Junction City Today. You can always find us on demand on Comcast, and you can always find us on YouTube. VOD. Just check out VOD. Crowd surfing, Utah on demand, Utah Junction City Today. I'm just tripping all over my words now. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but it has been a pleasure to have you guys watching us today. Help someone, get on the list, help Megan out. Do it right now.